Hello and welcome to this lesson on the tune Speed the Plough for this instrument, which is a CG Anglo Concertina. As this might well be the first lesson you've ever had on this instrument, I'll go through a few basics to start with. The way I'm holding it is comfortable for me. It may not work for you, but I'll just show you how I do it. My legs are crossed and my right leg over my left, and I put the right end of the instrument, this end here, on my right leg, and the left is free. Okay. If you find that a bit tiring, you can always swap that over, put the left sort of end cheek, if you like, on your right knee, but you should avoid having the bellows over your clothes, like trousers or a skirt if you're a lady, because it can wear the bellows out. Having said that, I've seen very many professional players play like that. Perhaps they just don't care about their bellows, or they can afford to renew them, but I wouldn't recommend that. So maybe you just start like that. Now the Anglo Concertina has got straps left and right, and so you put your hands through, the thumb goes on top, fingers underneath, and on the right hand side you have the thumb operating the air button, which is actually part of the playing technique, and I'll deal with that a bit later on in the lesson. So basically the right end is going to be static, the left end you're going to be pushing in and out, and you may know already that the notes are different on the push and on the pull of the bellows. In this particular tune, it's very comfortable, very tidy, because all of the melody notes, all of the tune notes are on this right hand side and all of the chords are on the left. That isn't always the case, but it is with this particular tune. If you don't know how to read music, I would suggest you download my theory of music sheets, which you can readily find on my website, and the address is on your screen now. Let's just show you around the instrument in case you don't know what's what. You can see 3 rows, one here, and one here on the left side, 3 rows on the right side, and this button here, I've said already, is the air button. And basically this is a CG concertina. That means the row in the middle, these buttons here, and carrying on down this side, that's the C row. The row nearest to you, the player, this row here, coming up here, and down here, is the G row. So the row furthest away from you is the accidental row, and that row carries, as you can imagine, sharps and flats and a few extra notes. And we will be needing one note in that in the left hand in this tune, but we'll get to that much later on in the lesson. So let's look at the A part. You can see the A in that big box there. That's the A part of the tune. Basically there are 2 parts, an A part and a B part, and this is the A part. And I'll play the first little bit of the tune so you can hear how it goes without the chords, just the right hand. So that was the first 2 bars of the tune. Let's have a look at what we've got there. Right, the first note is C. Now C is on button 6. Now the way I number my buttons, not everyone does this, so I start on this side. This is number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the first button down on the right hand side is button number 6. And underneath that first note in the tune, you can see a 6, showing you that I want you to play the 6th button. And on the push, you can see a push above that. Pushing means pushing the bellows towards the closed position. So you'll push with your left hand while you press that button, and you'll see a small number 1 above the note, indicating first finger of your right hand. And that's your first note. It's not as long as that. It's actually a very short note. It's actually a quaver, just half the beat. So the first note is C. And if you don't know your theory of music, the head of the note there is on the 3rd space up. And you might remember from your school days, F-A-C-E spells face. That's the spaces of the treble clef. So the 3rd space up is F-A-C. So that is the note of C, and it's the C above middle C. Now, that's your first note. You're going to go to button 7, just underneath that now, with finger 2, and you're going to pull the bellows. So you're going to pull the bellows towards the open position to slightly put some pressure. You don't have to move the bellows by much to change the note. So if I were to play that first note C, pushing, and then just slightly pull out, you see the note changes. Obviously I don't want that one, I want the note that's on the button below that. Button 7, pulling out, finger 2, and then you can see the very next note is the same button pushed in. So the first 3 notes, and those notes are C, D, E, buttons 6, 7, 7, fingers 1, 2, 2. Now you can see that I put a small dagger symbol underneath the 3rd note. When I do that on my squeeze box music, on my melodeon and on my concertina music, it means that you can just ride the button. I'll show you what I mean. Here's the 2nd note, the D on the pull. Watch what I do. Get the other fingers out of the way. You see, I keep the button depressed, keep it pressed down, and just operate the bellows to sound the E, the 3rd note. I could repress the button, but I choose not to. I actually quite like the sound of that. So there's our first 3 notes. And then we have the next note, which is an F, button 8 on the pull. So button 8 is the 3rd button down, finger 3, you'll see. And then I push that one in to get G. So far, we've just gone up the scale of C major. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, C, D, E, F, G. And you'll notice you hold the instrument up. You sort of don't let it sort of wobble about. I mean, it will tend to snake a little bit, but sort of keep it fairly square, I would. And before you start, by the way, obviously, you're going to need to pull your bellows out. I mean, don't pull them out ridiculously all the way. Sort of about halfway like that is fine. Obviously, depends on how big your bellows are. All instruments are different, of course. By the way, we are in the key of C major, and we are counting in 4s. So you won't find any sharps in this. Like I said, all of the notes are on the C row, apart from one note that you're going to need on the accidental row, but that's in the backing and the chords, not in the tune. All the tune notes are on these 5 buttons here on the right hand side. So far we have, and now I'm going to go to the next button, which is button number 9, 4th finger, pull, the note is A. Then I return to button 8 on the push for G, keep pushing, go to the button 7 above that and play E. So there are our first 8 notes. Okay?